Differences between skewness and kurtosis. Skewness versus kurtosis. Skewness eludes the tendency of a distribution that determines its symmetry about the mean, whereas kurtosis means the measure of the respective sharpness of the curve in the frequency distribution. Measure for skewness is the degree of lopsidedness in the distribution, whereas degree of tailedness in the distribution. Skewness is an indicator of lack of equivalence in the frequency distribution, whereas kurtosis is the measure of data, which is either peaked or flat in relation to the normal distribution. Skewness represents amount and direction of the skew, whereas kurtosis represents how tall and sharp the central peak is. There are two types of skewness, such as symmetrical and asymmetrical or non-symmetrical. The asymmetrical skewness can be further divided into two types, such as positively skewness and negative skewness. Whereas there are three types of kurtosis, such as leptokurtic, mesokurtic, and platykurtic. Explanation of types. Symmetric skewness is a distribution is said to be symmetrical when the distribution on either side of the mean is a mirror image of the other. In a symmetrical distribution, mean is equal to media is equal to mode. There is no skewness in a perfectly symmetrical distribution. Asymmetric skewness. An asymmetrical or skewed distribution is one in which the spread of the frequencies is different on both the sides of the center point, or the frequency curve is more stretched towards one side or value of mean. Median and mode falls at different points. If distribution is non-symmetrical, then it is said to be skewed. Skewness can negative or positive. Positive skewness is the concentration of frequencies is more towards higher values of the variable, i.e. the right tail is longer than the left tail. Negative skewness is the concentration of frequencies is more towards the lower values of the variable, such as the left tail is longer than the right tail. Whereas leptokurtic is a curve having a high peak than the normal distribution. In this curve, there is too much concentration of items near the central value. Mesokurtic is a curve having a normal peak than the normal curve. In this curve, there is equal distribution of items around the central value. And platykurtic is a curve having a low peak than the normal curve is called platykurtic. In this curve, there is less concentration of items around the central value. Skewness versus kurtosis. Diagrammatic representation of skewness and kurtosis are given. In skewness, you can see three diagrams, such as the first diagram is skewed right, which is positively skewed. The second diagram is symmetric, which having zero skewness. And the second diagram is skewed left, which is negatively skewed. Whereas in first diagram of platykurtic, the kurtosis value is less than 3. In second diagram of mesokurtic, the kurtosis value is equal to 3. And in third diagram of leptokurtic, the kurtosis value is greater than 3. Formula of skewness and kurtosis is also given for comparison. There are many traits of skewness, such as it indicates the shape and size of variation on either side of the central value. The measured differences of skewness tell us about the magnitude and direction of the asymmetry of a distribution. It indicates how far the distribution differs from the normal distribution. The measure of skewness studies the extent to which deviation clusters is or above or below the average. In an asymmetrical distribution, the deviation below or above an average is not equal. Whereas it indicates the frequencies of distribution at the central value. It indicates the concentration of items at the central part of a distribution. It studies the divergence of the given distribution from the normal distribution. It indicates the concentration of items. No such distribution takes place, such as V in kurtosis, where the deviation below or above an average is not equal. Skewness is a measure of symmetry, or more precisely, the lack of symmetry. A distribution, or data set, is symmetric if it looks the same to the left and right of the center point. Whereas, kurtosis is a measure of whether the data are heavy-tailed or light-tailed relative to a normal distribution. Kindly subscribe my YouTube channel Thesis Helper. Thanks for watching.